Now this is probably one of the biggest questions that you could ask in Dragon Ball. Hey guys, MasakoX here. Now even the most casual of fan might have an inkling about how Goku and Bulma first met in Dragon Ball. The one meeting that made everything happen. How Goku first ingratiated himself into the world that he is accustomed to today, and how he has become one of the strongest people in the multiverses. If you're not, then it involved such a sweet tale, such a tale for the ages. A young boy being shot right between the eyes by a sassy yet scared young girl, Bulma. So let's say that the event never took place. Bulma never ran Goku over in her Renault 5 Turbo Mark II. She and the young boy simply never crossed paths that day. Well, how would that have happened? Well, the entire event was a freak occurrence. Bulma was searching for Dragon Balls in the area, she ran over Goku, he picked up her car and totaled it, she shot him in the head, and he was completely fine, and then eventually took her to his house. All of that in this scenario didn't happen. Bulma would have still found the 4-star Dragon Ball without having met Goku because she has the Dragon Radar. How would she have been able to get to the house without Goku seeing her? Well, let's say that Bulma arrives about an hour early and Goku's not having much luck catching fish, so he's still out there in the wild finding food, because that young boy, he does need his food. Bulma would have arrived at the house and then found some way to get inside using one of her capsules or simply just climbing through the window. As far as she would be concerned, hey, free Dragon Ball! One step closer to a goal of a lifetime supply of strawberries. Yeah, that's what her first wish was gonna be. Then it became the perfect boyfriend, which was, at the time, a person like Yamcha. Yeah, things were different back then. The 16-year-old girl would have been desperate to find Dragon Balls, and after having found 2 of them already, she would have been keen to grab the 3rd one from Goku's house. You saw when she first saw the Dragon Ball when Goku brought her to his house, she was ecstatic and just shoved him aside like he was nothing. She would have just been like that with no filter. You know, kids can be quite selfish when such an opportunity arises. I'm not ashamed to admit that I was a real brat when I was young. Now Bulma's a smart person, so she could have used her intellect to mock up either a fake Dragon Ball or replace the Dragon Ball that's already there with something that looks very similar, like say an orange or a small ball that she could just paint orange or something like that. Hey, it doesn't have to be perfect, it just needs to buy enough time for her to escape and get very, very far away. Now one of 2 things could happen. Either Goku goes into a panic after finding out that the Dragon Ball is fake, and then runs around the forest looking for it, and then he and Bulma meet up, or he can't tell the difference. Goku isn't the sharpest knife in the crayon box, so I really wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't tell the difference between an orange and a Dragon Ball on first glance. He doesn't really touch it, he prays to it, it's just sitting on a cushion, and I can imagine that Grandpa Gohan would have probably told him, "Oh, don't you touch it, Goku, it's very dangerous." I could really believe Goku's never touched it. What backs my supposition is an interview that Toriyama did for V-Jump about a couple of years ago. He said that without Bulma, Goku would have been a person that spoke to nobody and would not know a single thing. I mean, he knows how to survive in the wilderness because that's just instinct, but everything else, really, he could have easily been duped. Now, if Goku indeed does nothing, then that leaves him out of the story for a very long time. Now back to Bulma. For the most part, her quest starts off unhindered. She still finds Master Roshi's house because, hey, the Dragon Ball is there and it shows up on the radar. So where's Turtle in all of this? Didn't Turtle and Master Roshi go way back, and wouldn't he be in the story by now? Well, yeah, that's true. He would have never met Goku and Bulma, so as far as the story is concerned, he could just be still out in the wilderness, searching for mushrooms and trying to find a way back to the sea. Odds are that he'll spend the rest of the tale desperately trying to find said ocean, or he will be eaten up by a dinosaur or something, or maybe that bear dude that Goku fought. Yes, it's a little dark, I know, so let's just hope he finds his own way back to the sea eventually, okay? Now thankfully, because she's a girl, Bulma is able to convince Roshi to part company with his 3-star ball. She still has to show him her panties, but this time she has them on, because Goku never took them off in her sleep, so that whole story has been completely removed. She still needs to find the 6-star ball, which is currently residing in Aru Village, the very village that Oolong has been terrorizing for years. Bulma would use her Dragon Radar to go to Grandma Palzu's house, who actually owns the 6-star ball at this point. She is able to talk with Bulma and then tell her about the tale of Oolong and how young girls have gone missing, and she will give Bulma the ball on the condition that she helps solve the case of Oolong's master trickery and get the young girls back to safety. Again, Bulma is very smart, and she would have gone to Pachawampa, the young girl that Oolong had eyes for marriage, and then work with her to plot a sneaky plan to get Oolong out of the woodwork and out of their hair once and for all. Bulma would have let the young girl get caught, follow them back to Oolong's hideout, find out the truth about Oolong's power, and then blackmail him into joining her for her own personal deeds in finding the Dragon Balls. Oh yeah, and free all the girls that were being held hostage even though they were well looked after, but most importantly, use his powers! Oolong's easily persuaded because hey, Bulma's pretty good looking. Now what about the Diablo Desert and Yamcha? Does anything different happen there? Well, with no Goku there, Yamcha's not likely to attack a young girl because A, according to Puar, that would be very rude, and B, he's scared of girls, so the two never meet. So much for that. Yamcha just goes back off into the desert with Puar, never to be seen again. Bye, Yamcha! Bulma would then go on to find the 7-star ball after convincing the Ox King that she knows Master Roshi. How would she do this? Well, present the 3-star ball that was in Roshi's possession for a very long time. She brings Roshi with her to put out the fire on top of Fire Mountain. She's able to convince Roshi because favors would have been exchanged, and Oolongs would have been manipulated. Once finding the 7-star ball, Bulma and Oolong continue on their journey. Sorry, Chi-Chi, no one to marry here. They're now on the home stretch, just one more ball to go, which is being held by Pilaf and his gang. The pair have to stop in a town for supplies, and this is the very town that the rabbit mob are terrorizing. You know, those two guys that look kinda tough and they had rabbit ears on? That's the rabbit mob. But then she's mistaken for one of them due to the fact that she's still wearing the rabbit ears from her bunny girl costume. People are scared of her until she's able to convince them that she's not one of them and takes them off. Everyone calms down after that. However, word spreads that somebody's been making fun of the rabbit mob by wearing their ears. Ooh, they don't take kindly to that. They then find Bulma and Oolong and kidnap them and take all of their supplies. Now naturally, she resists and then invokes the wrath of the rabbit mob's master, Monster Carrot. Now Monster Carrot is very cross and then turns Bulma and Oolong into carrots. Yes, that's what he can do. Now with nobody to help them because remember, Goku's not there, Yamcha's not watching over them, Bulma and Oolong are left to rot in Monster Carrot's digestive system. Yep, they're dead. Yeesh, Masako, surely you could have spared them. You could have just let them escape with no supplies and then run home to Capsule Corp. You didn't have to kill them. Well, I would have, but Monster Carrot is a badass mother who don't take crud from nobody. Now is the turn of Emperor Pilaf and his global dragon radar. Now he would have noticed that the balls were being collected by somebody, so instead of exerting any effort and retrieving the balls one by one, just wait for other people to collect them themselves and then go in and take them. Just swoop in there and grab them all at once. So as the rabbit mob are going through Bulma's belongings, because they don't know what the Dragon Balls are, they just think they're some kind of trinkets, the Pilaf gang jump in with their Pilaf machines and completely decimate the group, taking the balls with them. Well, does this mean that Pilaf actually gets his wish then? Yep, he does. Complete and utter global domination. Nothing can stop them now. With the power of the portable dragon radar, they can just wait another year, grab the balls, and wish for even more power! Wait, Masako. What about the Red Ribbon Army? Don't they figure in the story somehow? Well, yes they do. That is quite true. Now, they won't have taken kindly to Pilaf's declaration of global dominance. You have to remember that the Red Ribbon Army is a huge organization. They actually do have the firepower to take on Pilaf and his many men. Besides, Commander Red wants the Dragon Balls to be tall, damn it! He's gonna get that wish no matter what. For years, Pilaf and Commander Red would be at loggerheads with each other, trying to collect the balls for themselves and failing every single time. This is an all-out war. Until Raditz shows up. Does that sound familiar to you? Well, it should, because a similar scenario took place in my What If Senzu Beans Never Existed video. Raditz still shows up because none of the events that have happened up until now has affected Raditz's place in the story. Only this time, it's a little different. There's no King Piccolo involved here because, hey, Pilaf didn't need to find the electric rice cooker that contained King Piccolo's body and bring him back to life. He can just stay in that cooker for all Pilaf cares. These little armies that would have been squabbling with each other would have been nothing for Raditz. No match, no contest. He would have either ignored them or destroyed them in an instant. Now, considering in the normal timeline that Goku was able to take out the Red Ribbon Army single-handedly, I think Raditz would have had no problem. Much like in Z, he was still trying to find his younger brother. He might have found Goku either training in the woods or just continuing to bumble along with his own existence. Now Raditz could either kill his brother or kidnap him to take him back to Frieza and indoctrinate him into the Frieza forces. Frieza would have loved to have had Kakarot knocking around as a pawn or a toy. It would have reminded him of that stupid Bardock that dared stand up to him. To have the son of that idiot knocking around at his beck and whim, oh, that would have been so much fun for Frieza. Such joy. Oh, that Earth planet that he was on? Oh, just sell it like the rest. Frieza once again snaps up Earth and adds it to his portfolio of planets. Now you might be beginning to sense a trend in these what-if scenarios, eh? This is why Bulma's meeting with Goku is extremely important for the Dragon World. Bulma opened the door for Goku to become one of the strongest people in existence, to rise above mortal limits and take on the gods. Without her intervention, Goku would have just been a country bumpkin doing nothing, not knowing about the mystical adventure that lay before him, and instead end up in a life of servitude under Frieza's foot. As for Bulma, well, it was kind of fun to see her gather the Dragon Balls on her own, because for most of that adventure she didn't need Goku. But really, the overall outcome would have been really bleak and dejecting for her. Well, more like defecating because she's in Monster Carrot's stomach right now. As for Capsule Corporation, well, I can sense that it might have been some salvation for them because, ooh, technology. Frieza could snap that up for his forces and make them even stronger. I imagine that the Briefs family ultimately might have been saved, even though they're now slaves of the Frieza Force. Things look good for nobody unless your name begins with an F and ends with an A. So what do you guys think? Do you like my what if scenario? Are there things that you don't agree with? Leave a comment below and let's get this discussion going. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Until the next one, be sure to like and subscribe. Catch you later.